Hello everyone. In this video, I'll give you a tutorial about how to make a simple network by using Opnet. Firstly, we will come here and search for Visual Studio command prompt. Run it like this. And then we will search for the modular shortcut. Modular is the new name of Opnet. We will click here, right click, and then go to properties, and then you will copy this link and you will paste it here. Then enter. You will find the modular is beginning. Okay. Now we want to make a new project, so we will click on File, New Project. I will leave the name of the project as project 2. Then click OK. Here we will choose create empty scenario because we will make a network from scratch by our specification. Here the network scale, we will make a small network. So we will choose Office. Then click Next. Here you have to specify the size of your network. I will leave it here the default, but when you're making your own project, you should specify the size of the network that you want to use. Here I will leave it like 100 meters for the X and 100 meters for the Y, and then click Next. Here you should specify the model family that you will work on. Here I will work on with Ethernet. I will choose Ethernet Advanced. So we will click here for make it yes, and then next. Here the tool gives you like a review about the specs that you chosen from the beginning of the project. So the scale here is Office, and the size here is 100 meters by 100 meters, and the model family Ethernet_Advanced. So it's a good screen to review what you have chosen from the beginning. Then you will click Finish, and here is your field. Now, the object palette is one of the great elements in this tool because it specifies all the things that you need to build your network. Firstly, we want to think about our network. We'll make a network composed of a sensor. The sensors send the sensing information to the controller. Then the controller take this information and process it. Then the controller send the decision for the actuator. So this is our network. Okay, so firstly we will make the nodes. We will choose here Ethernet workstation add. This is the first one, and first node. Then here, oh, okay, we will right click. So when you don't make right click, so it makes like several nodes like this. So to remove the unneeded nodes, you should come here to view, edit, then you will click delete. and they delete the unneeded nodes. So here we have our 3 nodes that we want. We can put it like this, and then to connect all of these nodes with each other, we should choose a switch. So we will come here to the switches. I will choose Ethernet. Here we have a small network, so I will choose Ethernet 16 switch add and put it here. Then we want to connect all the nodes to the switch, so we will go for the links. Our data here will not be very high, so I can choose the 100 base T. Then we will connect this node to the switch, and this one, and this one, and don't miss to right click, so the element will disappear. Now, to define our application and our profile, so we should get from here profile configuration, and here on the top you will find the application configuration. Here it is. Okay, let's go. We will here we will right click and set the name of our first node as a sensor, and this node as a controller, and this one actuator. Okay, firstly, we should define our application. So we will come here to application definition and click right click, and then we will click edit attributes, and then we will come to application definitions and click this dots and then edit. Here we want to define 2 applications. Why 2 applications? Because we want to send from the sensor to the controller. This is the first one, and then the controller will send to the actuator. This is the second one. So we will have 2 applications. The first application, I will call it sensor to controller. Then here we want to make the description of the application. I will consider that we will send like a video from the sensor to the actuator. So I will choose the video conferencing as an application here, and then I will make edit. We want to specify 2 things. The first one is the frame interval time information, and the second one is the frame size information. So we will begin with the interval time for sending the frames. Here we have 2 aspects. The first one is the incoming stream interval time, and the second one is the outgoing stream inter-arrival time. I will set some default values, but you should consider the values that is required for your application. So here I will consider here the distribution will be constant, and I will consider the time like a 1 second. Okay, and for the outgoing stream interval, I will consider it like a 1000 second. Oops. Okay. then okay. Then we want to define the frame size. We have also incoming and outgoing. We will define firstly the incoming stream frame size. I call it a 1 byte. And also for the outgoing, I will call it like a 1 byte. Okay. Now you will leave the rest of the parameters like is it? Okay, okay. So this is for the first one. The second application, which is sending the information from the controller to the actuator, which is the decision of the controller for the actuator. We will have the same parameters. So we can click here like this and make duplication. So it will duplicate this line and you will not need to construct the row from the beginning. Just we will change the name of the application here. So we will make it controller to actuator. And if we open the description, we will find that the same parameters are chosen. Like here, we will check here for the frame interval time. You'll find that the same values that we have chosen here like this. So perfect. And click OK. And you should check also here. So you ensured that your applications have been constructed. So now, okay, so this part is over. So now we want to make two profiles for our applications. So we will click this profile definition, edit attributes, and we will find the profile configuration. We will click the dots also and then edit. Here we will make two profiles, one for sensor to actuator, sensor to controller, and the other for controller to actuator. So here we will make the first row. It's for the sensor to controller. And here we will choose the application that we made it for this profile. And click one row, and here we will choose the first application, which is sensor to controller. And for the start time offset, we want no offset, so we choose no offset. Duration, end of profile, readability, unlimited, and then click OK. Then here for the operation mode, we will leave it like as it, serial order, but here the start time, we will change the distribution name for constant, and we will here, okay, maybe 5 seconds. So the start time, 5 seconds. And the rest, we will leave it like that. End of simulation once at start time. Then here we will make another row. Here we will enter the second profile, which is controller to actuator. And we will choose the second application here, one row. And here we will choose the second application, start time, no offset. And then click OK. And here we will change the start time to be distributed as a constant and also 5 seconds, and we will leave the rest as it is. Then click OK and check here that the profile configuration constructed, and then click OK. Minimize the palette. Okay, now, wow. Okay, we should click on it, and then for the edit we will say delete. Now we want to make two things. The first one, we want to deploy our network, and the second one, we want to say that the results should be taken from all the sensors. So here to deploy, we should click protocols, applications, then deploy defined applications. Now here is our nodes, and here is our profile. So we will click here. We will show the source, which is the node that sent the data, the application. If you made like this is the destination. So here our first profile is sensor to controller. So we will click here in this node, and the sensor is our source, and then click this arrows. The sensor come here, and for the destination we'll also click on this node and this, then click on the destination, which is the controller, and then click these arrows. Then we'll open the other profile. Here we want the controller also, and the controller is selected here, so we will click like this. And for the application, we want the actuator, so we'll choose the actuator and then send it. Oh, okay, here, and send it here. So now we deployed all the nodes. So we will click apply and okay. Now before run the program, we should get to every node and choose individual DES statistics, so we can ensure that the network is working or not. So here our application is video conferencing, so we will select video conferencing, and if we mix, so we have different parameters here, packet delay, packet end-to-end delay, the traffic received, the traffic sent in bytes and in packet per second. So here we will click OK and make the same job for the other nodes. Choose individual DES statistics and then go to video conferencing. Click correct, OK. Here also for the actuator. Now we will click run. Here you will find someone is running here. And here we should configure the number of runs that we want, and the direction, and the duration and the seeds and all of that. The parameters here is the default, so I will leave it like it, as it is. But also, depending on your application and depending on the duration and the number of seats you want, you should change these parameters. We will click run. Perfect, simulation completed. Now we will click results browser to see the results. First, we want to check that the sensor is sending. So we will go for the traffic sent. We will find now, it's like the 1 byte that we are sending. This on bytes per second. If you want it by the packet per second, it's also available. If you want to see the packet end-to-end delay, so small delay here. And if we want to check the controller, the receiving controller, select it. Also, we can open the traffic sent from the sensors. You will find that they are. This is the bytes sent from the sensor, and this received from the controllers. So you find that the delay is too small. And finally, we will check the actuator, the traffic received. It's also the 1 byte that we defined. And now we are coming for the end of the video. If you have any questions, please send to me. Thanks. Bye-bye.